when folks introduced me to you, they said, listen, you got to talk to this guy. Chuck knows campaigns. He cares about this area.
Sure.
He knows this area. He'll educate you on stuff. One of our first conversation over at what is now NDD's, it was Broussard's then, was Chuck telling me, hey, let me take 5 minutes of your time and teach you about the past. First, let's talk about this photo, and then we're going to get into it. I know you can't wait. Do you remember what year this photo was taken?
Yes. All these photos were taken by me on my father's boat, and you'll see another one here pretty soon. But there was over 150 boats to show up here in Navarre from the east and all the way down to Mississippi. Yeah. They would travel the intercoastal waterway, and they got here for the grand opening of the first day of opening the Navarre Pass. Yeah. 150 boats, and there's some of the boats that I took.
Right there.
Yeah, some of the boats. They're old boats now compared to what they are today, but it was opened in 1965, and it only lasted about 3 months.
Yeah, let me show. I got a map here so people can kind of get an idea. Sure. Not really a map, it's an aerial photo, but kind of explain to people
where it is.
What it is.
If you go over to the bridge and you're going south on the Navarre Bridge, it's about 750 yards due east on that land right there. It's where a low spot is. It's still wet from time to time. When we have major hurricanes hit this area, it reopens, and the county comes down and closes it up. It's all political. Pensacola, Escambia County, and we'll get into that a little bit later, I think. They don't want us to have a pass. They have their pass. Right. They don't want us to take tax dollars away from them. Yeah. So they don't want us to have it. They control us because that land out there is government owned by the U.S. government. They lease it to Escambia County, and Escambia County subleases it to Santa Rosa County. So we don't own that property out there. Right. And that's another issue, fee simple title, that we're trying to get with Matt Gates and get that changed.
So for all these reasons, right now, boats can't pass from the Sound
you're 25
into
miles
the Gulf.
East and west from a distance to get into the Gulf.
Right. But when the pass was there, I think this is the photo.
That's the one I took on my father's.
Because you could actually, travel.
It was
from
unbelievable.
The Gulf.
And let me tell you why I thought this was. My dad sat there at the controls, driving a boat. Take this camera, son, get up at the top of the bow of the boat and take these pictures. This is something. This is absolutely something. And I did the best I could. Yeah. These are probably one of the only few pictures that survived all these years. And I created a website. It's called NavarrePass.com, and it tells the life and the story of Santa Rosa County and that land out there. Yeah. And all these pictures are on there for the history. Because I want to preserve it. I want to preserve what we did back then. Yeah. And it still can be done today.
Right. Well, how much cleaner was the water back then?
Great question. A lot of people don't realize this, but the water clarity in Navarre, before the pass was even cut, was probably minimal. I mean, it was not a lot of runoff from housing and stuff like that. Sure. As we grew in population, our infrastructure did not. The pass was already closed. Right. Okay. The water clarity was unbelievable for the 3 months that it was open. You could actually see the bottom of the channel, the middle of the channel of the Sound, where you go under the bridge. You could see the channel at the bottom and see the sandy bottom. Today,
you can't do that anymore.
No. And I want to say this: there's two types of bacteria out there, and it's already been documented. Vibrovivaniscus is one of them. It's a flesh-eating bacteria. And there's a lot of people that have gotten sick. They've lost limbs. They've died. Yeah. People don't understand that. Yeah. I won't swim in that water, and I won't eat any fish in that water.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah.
And why? Why is it that way? Yeah. Well, when it's closed, there's no circulation. It goes up and down with the moon, and on top of that, the sewer system up there on the beach, it's outdated. And anytime they have an overflow, and they usually have 200,000 to 300,000 gallons overflow a day when it's the height of the season. Yeah. And where do they dump it? Right in the Sound. Right into the Sound. It's affluent water. It's treated, but they say don't drink it. You think I'm going to swim in it? If they say don't drink it, I'm not swimming.
And this is the concept. I think I have a picture. Let me find it here of the rib system. Right. This is what the water system's trying to do to get that wastewater.
And it's a good plan. It's a great plan.
All the way up north. Yeah.
It's been a long time coming.
Oh yeah.
We've been talking about it for years.
30 years is what I read. Yeah.
But all that overflow going into the Sound has hurt the Sound so much that it's going to take, once that's implemented, it'll probably take another 30 years for this to clean up.
Right.
So that's another generation.
Right.
And there's other ways of doing it. Reopen the pass. Reopen the pass. Do it right. Bulkhead it. Right. And the reason it closed up because a hurricane hit in 1965, Hurricane Betsy in New Orleans, and it skirted the Gulf Coast. And it was 100-mile-an-hour wind down here. They didn't even know how to bulkhead something. Yeah. They didn't know about the westerly flow of the tide going from east to west, and the sand, building up and building up. They didn't control that. They didn't know how to control it.
Because this has all the components of the discussion we're about to have. Because you see some things that Navarre has lost.
Sure.
Right? Like you said, the water quality.
Oh, yeah.
Being able to see through it, to see the bottom in the sound. But you also see projects that are beginning to be worked on, like the ribs. Some people with some good ideas.
Right.
Starting to get a little bit of traction.
Right.
And some other ideas that could happen, like the pass, that could further help that. Right. So there are these projects to sort of reclaim what was lost, to try to fix some things that were done as Navarre developed so quickly. That's what I love. I love the concept of people saying, hey, we love our community. There's parts of it that we're losing as we're growing. Let's hold on to those while we continue to prosper as a community. Right? That's what it's all about. So